Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Got another great video for you guys today. As usual, you guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about putting some respect on the past eras. You guys know the deal, man. You guys get it. It's all about stopping the lies, stopping them from rewriting history, stopping the narratives. And in this video, we're going to speak about Scottie Pippen real briefly, guys. Real brief. And how Scottie Pippen is not a top 5 small forward of all time. I've touched on this in the past. But we're going to reiterate this video. We're going to talk about it a little bit differently. Scottie Pippen, to me, is not a top 5 small forward of all time. And once again, there's no shade or hate on Scottie Pippen, man. And I'm going to thank you guys, man. Everyone across the world, everyone across the states, man. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting my channel, guys. I am truly, truly humbled, man. I really am, guys. Everyone with the comments, you guys sharing your stories, the things you guys say to me, man. It means a lot, man. You guys, the real recognize real. You guys understand what we're doing here. There's never been about hate or any of this stuff, man. We must continue to hold these guys to a standard, set the record straight, stop the narratives, man. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, Scottie Pippen is not a top 5 small forward of all time, small forward in NBA's history. He's just not. Now, over the last several years now, sorry guys, I'm trying to find something here, man. Over the last several years, you guys have noticed that Scottie Pippen has become very, very overrated. I hate to use that word, right? They've tried to pump Scottie Pippen up into a realm that he never was, right? They'll say things like Scottie Pippen was the real leader of the Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan never won without Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was the best all-around player in the NBA. They'll say things like this. When in reality, that's not the truth, right? That's nowhere near the reality. Scottie Pippen was never the best all-around player in the NBA. We talked about this, right? I told you guys, only Michael Jordan's held to the standard. He's not allowed to have any help. So they'll say Michael Jordan's 1-9 without Pippen. Yes, Michael Jordan needed some help. He's the only guy that needed help, right? No one else in NBA history has had help, right? We've talked about this stuff. But when I tell you guys that Scottie Pippen's not a top 5 small forward of all time, sometimes you'll get people that think you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy, man. Scottie Pippen ain't top 5, man. What are you talking about? You don't know basketball, blah, blah, blah. And I've seen many lists with Scottie Pippen in the top 5 small forwards of all time in NBA's history, and I just don't see how you can do it. I think we're not being genuine, and we're not doing our research. We're not doing our homework. To me, there's no way you can put Scottie Pippen in the top 5, because once again, when people put Scottie Pippen in the top 5 small forwards of all time, they're including things like his 6 championships, right, that he won with Michael Jordan. That factors into their decision to put Scottie Pippen there, right? But for me, that can't be just the only thing that we think about, right? It can't be. Because once again, Scottie Pippen played with the greatest player of all time. Greatest player of all time. And they try to diminish Michael Jordan by lifting Scottie Pippen, right? So they'll say, oh, Scottie Pippen's the top 5 small forward of all time, and I don't see what we can do. So let's think about this now, guys. Let's think about some of the great small forwards in NBA's history. We don't have to do a rankings per se, but let's think about this now. Now, the obvious no-brainers, right? Larry Bird, to me, is a great small forward of all time. You guys know how I feel about Larry Bird, man. Larry Bird, to me, is a great small forward of all time. I don't even think it's a question. It's not a debate, man. Larry Bird was sensational. His all-around game, his leadership, his grit, his heart, his IQ, just all the intangibles, his shooting ability, his clutch play, all those things. Give me Larry Bird at the small forward position. Next up, I'll probably take Dr. J. I know it sounds blasphemous, guys, but give me Dr. J next up as a small forward position. To me, I don't think it's a question with Scottie Pippen. Once again, Dr. J was just a greater all-around player than Scottie Pippen. He was a better rebounder. To me, he was a better shot blocker than Scottie Pippen. Yes, Scottie Pippen was a better overall defensive player, but I think Dr. J was a better shot blocker at that position, right? He's a high flyer, better scorer, just a better leader, all those things. The intangibles, give me Dr. J. So that's 2 guys right there. LeBron James. We put LeBron James up there, right? Scottie Pippen's not greater than LeBron James, right? A lot of people actually will say that LeBron James and Scottie Pippen are similar, right? They'll say that Scottie Pippen or LeBron James is a pumped-up Scottie Pippen. I've heard people say those things. And yes, Scottie Pippen's not greater or better than LeBron James. So that's 3 guys right there, right? I don't think that's a question either. That's not a debate. Is anybody going to say that Scottie Pippen was better than LeBron James? No, I don't think that anyone's going to say that, right? As much as people say that I hate LeBron James on this channel, I can clearly understand that Scottie Pippen's nowhere near LeBron James. Okay? That would be hate. If I said Scottie Pippen was better than LeBron James, that would be classified as hate. So that's 3 guys. Who else we got to think about? For me, I'll go with John Havlicek. To me, John Havlicek was greater than Scottie Pippen. John Havlicek was an excellent defensive player. Was he a greater defensive player than Scottie Pippen? No, probably not at that position. But John Havlicek is probably a top 3 or top 4 defensive player at that position. So John Havlicek, to me, was just a better player overall than Scottie Pippen. He could shoot the ball better, right? He had more grit, to me, than Scottie Pippen. He was a better leader than Scottie Pippen, John Havlicek. So I'm going to go with John Havlicek, guys, at the small forward position. To me, he was just greater than Scottie Pippen. So that's what, 4 guys right there? Next up, maybe Elgin Baylor, right? I got to put Elgin Baylor above Scottie Pippen, right? I mean, Elgin Baylor, once again, a greater scorer than Scottie. I mean, the man averaged, 38 points a game in a season, I believe. So give me Elgin Baylor. He has a career average of, 27 points a game? Scottie Pippen's, 15? So give me Elgin Baylor as far as scoring goes. Elgin Baylor, one of the revolutionary players, a pioneer, right? One of the first guys to play above the rim, Elgin Baylor. So the guy was a pioneer. Scottie Pippen wasn't a pioneer per se, right? They'll say, oh, Scottie Pippen pioneered the point forward. There were other guys doing that, like Marquise Johnson for the Milwaukee Bucks, that were point forwards, right? Scottie Pippen ran the triangle offense, all right. But I'm going to give me Elgin Baylor. Elgin Baylor was a greater rebounder than Scottie Pippen. Yes, was Scottie Pippen a better defensive player? Yes. But Elgin Baylor was about, 6'5", an undersized small forward, but was still averaging crazy amounts of rebounds at that size. So, give me Elgin Baylor over Scottie Pippen. I think he was a greater player, Elgin Baylor. I don't think that's a question. Once again, yes, Elgin Baylor didn't win 6 championships. But was Scottie Pippen the best player on those championship teams? No, he played with Michael Jordan. Give Michael Jordan, Elgin Baylor. I think that they'll be okay. I think they'll be all right. So I guess we can say Elgin Baylor. Who else? Rick Barry? I think we got to put Rick Barry ahead of Scottie Pippen, man. Rick Barry, who led a team to a title. Scottie Pippen never did that, right? Rick Barry led a team to a title. Rick Barry was a much greater shooter than Scottie Pippen. I think he was a better just overall player, a very good rebounder, a better leader. Just give me Rick Barry, man. I mean, the dude was just better. It is better overall game. Who else? We start getting a little difficult here now, guys, right? Where are we at? 5, 6 guys now? Dominique Wilkins? Is Scottie Pippen greater than Dominique Wilkins? I don't know, guys. Dominique Wilkins at his peak, man. I don't know, man. Much more potent offensively than Scottie Pippen. I think Dominique Wilkins was a better rebounder than Scottie Pippen. He was more athletic than Scottie Pippen. More explosive, all those things. Yes, Scottie Pippen has the defense. Absolutely. Playmaking, yes, we'll give the edge to Scottie Pippen there. But to me, Dominique Wilkins is probably just a greater player, right? If you gave Michael Jordan Dominique Wilkins, they get a lot of things done. Things get done because of the high scoring of a Dominique Wilkins. Who else? Bernard King. Is Bernard King greater than Scottie Pippen? I don't know, guys. But this is where we're at now, right? We're 7, 8, 9 guys down here. James Worthy, right? James Worthy was better than Scottie Pippen when he first came in the league, right? James Worthy had probably a better overall game, man. Once again, James Worthy on the offensive end was greater than Scottie Pippen, right? James Worthy winning a Finals MVP, playing alongside Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Scottie Pippen had 6 chances to win a Finals MVP, never won one. Never won one. He never put up a 30-point triple-double in a Game 7 or a decisive game. That was never Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan was always the X factor in those series. So, not saying that James Worthy is greater all time than Scottie Pippen, but you can argue James Worthy over Scottie Pippen. Chris Mullin, right? Is he greater than Scottie Pippen? No, I'm not saying that. But you can argue at certain points in their careers, Chris Mullin was a better offensive player than Scottie Pippen easily. The man averaged like 25 points a game for like 5 straight seasons, whatever it was. There's a reason why Chris Mullin's on the Dream Team. Chris Mullin's probably just as good as a playmaker as Scottie Pippen, guys. Yes, Chris Mullin off the dribble. Can shoot off the dribble, playmaker off the dribble, all these things. Go look at some prime Chris Mullin at his peak. The man was excellent. Not saying he was greater than Scottie Pippen, but these are the conversations. These are the guys in the conversation, guys, for, small forwards in NBA's history. Guys like Paul Pierce, Carmelo Anthony. I don't think Carmelo Anthony's better than Scottie Pippen, but I'm just saying some of these guys are in this conversation. Paul Pierce led a team to the NBA Finals. The offensive game of Paul Pierce is much greater than Scottie Pippen's. No, Paul Pierce can't touch Scottie Pippen on defense. But Paul Pierce had the leadership, had the heart, had the grit. So, guys, as you can see, man, I don't think we can ever put Scottie Pippen in the top 5 small forwards of all time. I mean, Kevin Durant. I didn't even mention Kevin Durant, guys. Scottie Pippen better than Kevin Durant? No. So, once again, if you had Kevin Durant in your top 5, And you had guys like Larry Bird and LeBron James and Dr. J and John Havlicek and Elgin Baylor, Kevin Durant, Rick Barry, Dominique Wilkins, Bernard King, James Worthy. I mean, my God. I don't know how you put Scottie Pippen in the top 5 and all those guys I mentioned. I know I'm missing some guys, but just those guys off the top of my head, I can't see how Scottie Pippen's better than any of those guys. I mean, not any of those guys, but how you could put him in that top 5. I'm not putting him above LeBron James or Larry Bird or Dr. J or Havlicek, Elgin Baylor, Rick Barry. I don't think you can put him ahead of those guys. So for me, Scottie Pippen's probably somewhere around that 7-8 range. If I had to, put a finger on it, I think he's somewhere around number 8, all-time small forward. I think Scottie Pippen, I think that's the highest, 7 or 8 to me, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I don't think there's any way you can put Scottie Pippen in the top 5 small forwards of all time. Once again, there's not a knock on Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen's an all-time great. But we must recognize the other all-time greats in NBA's history, right? We have to do our research, and we must be objective here, and we must be honest, and we must continue to educate and not try to rewrite the history and bend reality and try to make it seem as if, it's Larry Bird, LeBron James, and Scottie Pippen. No! There are other great small forwards in NBA's history. People probably just forget about these guys, or they don't realize how great these guys were. So for me, like I said, guys, I can't put Scottie Pippen in the top 5 all time. It takes me nothing from Scottie Pippen's greatness. They've tried to elevate Scottie Pippen into another realm, another stratosphere, just to diminish Michael Jordan. Once again, I told you, this is all disingenuous. They're not giving Scottie Pippen props to give Scottie Pippen props. They're giving Scottie Pippen props to bring down Michael Jordan. That's all they've done. And I don't think Scottie Pippen's a top 5 small forward of all time, guys. I don't even think it's a debate. Let me know what you guys think, man. Catch you guys on the next one.